So I was in the backyard with my stepdad at about 11 years old. We were building a tool shed. So he was teaching myself and my younger brother how to use power tools and how to use all these different pieces of equipment. By the end of the day, I went inside to tell my mother and I said, "Mom, I know what I want to do for the rest of my life." My name is Dennis Townsend and I'm an architect. I have centerline design and engineering, and I'm also county supervisor for Tulare County District 5. When I began working, I was working for the civil engineer and there were no architects in Porterville. In fact, I'm still the only licensed architect in Porterville. What I did then was worked for the civil engineer, and I did drawings. Back then I was on the board. We were doing all board drafting. Anytime there was any kind of an architectural project that would come in, I would take the lead and do the design and do the drawing. So I kind of had full control just under the auspices of the civil engineer. But I also learned a lot about civil engineering, doing grading plans and site plans and things that most architects don't do. Now today, as the owner of the company, or now I'm a partner in the company, but today I meet with clients, I help with contracts. Sometimes I will do preliminary designs, so I will actually do sketching, like in the old school, just take my pencil or my pen on a piece of flimsy paper and sketch out ideas to give to one of our employees that are one of our drafters that are putting these things together. What I also do is I'll take the progress sets of plans and I will check those for consistency with all of the codes and make sure that we don't have any errors on there, or if there's any design changes that need to be made, I'll check those over on the prints. The hardest part? I'll say it's the hardest, but it's also probably the most satisfying, and that is to take a whole set of issues that a client comes in with. So they need a building for what? So we have to have these interviews with them and determine, and if it's a business, they'll come in and say, you know, we make this particular thing and we need this much space and we need this many offices. Here's how many people we have. Here's the hours that we're open. Here's kind of the image of our company. They'll put all of that together and give it to us. Fairly simple to take that and then convert that to a business model, a floor plan and an elevation of what that might look like. They're usually pretty satisfied on the first go round. When it comes to residences and maybe churches and things like that, there's much more emotion involved, because if you come to me, you say, I would like you to design a new home for me. When you say home, you have a whole different idea of what a home is than maybe I do. I say that's the hardest and also most satisfying, because when you see a homeowner, any other client as well, but when you see them actually move in and use the space that you've designed, it's incredible. That's one of the things I also love about it. Architecture is a combination of science and art. So they'll say, well, do you have to use a lot of math? Well, yeah, you do have to use math. You know, you have to kind of know how to add things up, and you know how weights, you know, work, and how physics and statics work. You have to know that sort of thing. But at the same time, if that's all you know and you don't have an artistic side, you're not going to be able to take all those issues and put them together in a cohesive result, a cohesive design. So the unique part about it is that it's part science and it's part art. I would say on the regular person, just the regular architect, to build a business, you gotta have people skills, because you have to have clients. So you have to be able to sit across the table, and I have to be able to draw out from you, what do you need? What do you expect? How will you use this building that we're creating? How are you going to use these spaces? Then you have to have the design skills to process, to take all of that material and put that together and go, okay, now I'm going to put something on paper that puts that all together. Now you've got the spaces. Now how do you make it beautiful? You've made it functional. How do you make it beautiful? How do you make it stand up? So you have to have that structural side as well. So you have to have sort of all those skills combined to be able to be successful. And of course, if you're going to have your own business, you've also got to have some time management skills. You've got to have some wealth management skills that you use, some financial skills to be able to put it all together.